Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
So the manager of Joseph Parker, David Higgins, has said that Joseph Parker, should he fight Alexander Usyk for the vacant WBO World Heavyweight title, of course if Anthony Joshua ends up having to vacate it or stripped of it, however it may go down, that Joseph Parker will in fact be the A-side when it comes to Alexander Usyk. Because, as David Higgins reasons, is that at heavyweight, Joseph Parker, he's earned his stripes. At heavyweight, Usyk has not earned his stripes. And plenty of other things. In fact, we'll get straight into David Higgins' statement, and this is what he had to say. Usyk has not earned his stripes at heavyweight. Joseph Parker is the A-side, and Joseph Parker has sold out the Principality Stadium with Joshua, and he sold out the O2 Arena with Dillian Whyte. He's the A-side, so if Usyk wants to share the ring with Parker, I would be expecting 70-30 open book revenue share in Parker's favour. I'll get ridiculed for that, but listen, Parker has beaten Andrew Ruiz Jr. He sold out the Principality Stadium and the O2 Arena, and he's a big name in the UK. So Usyk is the B side. Absolutely, Joe would fight him. As long as the Usyk team recognise and understand they are the B side, there's no problem. So that is David Higgins' statement. So all barring my little bumble towards the end there. Joseph Parker, the A side in favour of Usyk. Now, as far as heavyweight is concerned, I understand what it is that he's saying, because yes, Joseph Parker has sold out the Principality Stadium and has the O2 Arena with Dillian Whyte as well. But again, you could argue the fact that it was Anthony Joshua that pretty much sold out the Principality Stadium, and it was Dillian Whyte who sold out the O2 Arena. But of course, listen, Joseph Parker is actually a big name in the UK. So from that point of view, he is correct. But the reality is that Alexander Usyk is the mandatory for that belt. Now, Joseph Parker, he is the former champion, for sure. So, Usyk, he's only had one fight at heavyweight against a guy who I've forgotten his name now. So, at heavyweight, Usyk, has he earned his stripes? Not really, but he's former undisputed cruiserweight world champion. And as I said, mandatory challenger. So, when you're mandatory challenger and you're going to be fighting for a vacant belt, you don't actually get to dictate what the terms are. You can try, but the reality is if Joseph Parker wants that fight with Usyk for a vacant WBO world title, then if necessary, then it will just go to the board. And they'll just order it that it's a case of 60-40 in Alexander Usyk's favour as he's the mandatory. Again, is it harsh? Yes, because Usyk is not the champion, but he is the mandatory, and that's officially the rules. And again, you guys look at it. I mean, there are more extreme rules in boxing, which I totally disagree with, by the way. For example, when Kubrat Pulev, he fought Hughie Fury in the final eliminator to become the IBF mandatory challenger. So it wasn't even for the world title, but the IBF allowed Pulev to have 75% of the purse, which is absolutely ridiculous, as both of these guys were fighting for that position. So, again, there are some pretty extreme rules out there. Now, as far as Parker being the A-side, in the UK, maybe, but I mean, Usyk's a pretty big star in the UK himself. I mean, he's got a massive following here in the UK. And of course, him versus Tony Bellew also sold out. And yes, that was also pay-per-view here in the UK as well, where Alexander Usyk won. And the reality is Joseph Parker didn't win either of those fights. I'm a massive fan of Joseph Parker. Most of you guys know that. But I think if Higgins is saying how it should be a 70-30 in Parker's favour, then I think Joseph Parker is not going to fight for that world title. It just isn't. And then it'll go back down the list, which next in line is Ajit Kabiel. Adam Kalnaki, then Ajit Kabiel. So if Parker wants a world title shot, he's going to have to go by the book. That's exactly how it's going to be. And Usyk isn't going to just voluntarily give Parker 70-30. I mean, I understand what David Higgins is doing, and there's nothing wrong with trying it, but the reality is that isn't going to happen. And if David Higgins is going to be a little bit stuck up about it, then quite simple. It'll just go to the board, and the fight will be ordered that way. If Higgins isn't happy about it, then Parker will be pulled from the fight. And nobody wants to see that. I think people would love to see Usyk versus Joseph Parker for the vacant WBO World Heavyweight title, if of course that title becomes vacant. Anyway, drop your thoughts below about it, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.